Good evening. As you know, annually, the Heart of the Arts gives you an annual report on the ongoings at the 1912 Center. They took over the management of this city-owned facility in May of 2007, and we work with them regularly, and also give you quarterly reports as well. So anyway, here's Jenny Kostroff to give you 5 minutes of great entertainment.
Do I
Added the time limit in there really sneakily.
take whatever time you
He's
need,
like, "Go
Jenny?
ahead." So, but there's magic buttons, Dwight. You didn't push them. Whoa! No one has to push the magic buttons. Okay, alrighty. Is it the arrow? This is. Okay. Okay. She gave me the secrets. Okay, my name's Jenny Kostroff, and I am very happy to represent Heart of the Arts Incorporated for you tonight, telling you all about what we've been up to at the 1912 Center in our annual report. Heart of the Arts' mission is to enrich lives and create community by operating and restoring the 1912 Center. And we have enjoyed working with the center since 2007, and so we would like to tell you who's on our board right now. We have some board representatives in the audience as well. Our president is Jay Pangilly, who's here. And Mary Dupree is our vice president this year, and Judy Brown serves as our treasurer. Lorene Sorensen is our secretary. And on our directors, we have in the audience Jody Burke and Andrea Fountain, but we also have Miranda Anderson, Katie Luna, Kelly Moore, Linda Paul, Lawrence Rose, and Bill Terrio. And Bill Terrio represents Friendly Neighbors, which is one of the tenant organizations at the 1912 Center. And so we are working to always have a representative of Friendly Neighbors so that they have a voice in the center. We're going way back because we're reminding you of all the fun things that we've done. So in 2008, we completed the West Wing, which added the Arts Workshop space and the Fisk Community Room to spaces that we run in the center. So we have 5 to 6 very active spaces in the center, and that added value to the facility. Then in 2009 and 2010, we worked on the exterior tuck pointing, brick restoration and cleaning, window replacement, and the cornice up at the top got painted and sealed. So the two sides of the facility in 2009 and 10 look like a brand new building on the outside, which is pretty impressive. That shell restoration project added 52 new windows to the facility so we now have the same to do on the front of the building left, but we'll get to that. In 2011, we got the retaining wall finally put in along the parking lot, and that was phase 1 of our parking lot construction project. We also worked on the interior in the kitchen, upgrading the kitchen equipment with help from the Idaho Community Foundation and an Avista Foundation grant, and upgraded the hood to a chemical drop system instead of, it was powder, and now it's liquid. Very exciting. And ceiling fans in the great room. In 2012, the parking lot project was completed, adding 15 new parking spaces to the site, so that the complete 1912 Center site now has a full parking lot. It has a sidewalk entry into the west end of the facility, and quality contractors finished that project on time. And this is more views of our parking lot without snow on them. I thought everyone would enjoy seeing the parking lot with no snow, because right now it has snow in weird places. So that's our parking lot phase 2 project got completed. We also worked on the east end entrance as a part of that to make it more user-friendly and connecting the outside world to the building by putting in a piece of sidewalk where there had been a car parked where you couldn't get through. So has helped a lot in terms of arriving to the building, that you're not feeling like you're crashing into a car when you're trying to get into the center. We replaced the flooring in the kitchen with a long-term tile floor, which has been fantastic. That was one of the most fun things that we've done, because it's now they've told me you could just hose that thing off, and we actually have gotten it that wet before, not on purpose, but it does work very well. Little squeegee action and you're good to go. Yeah. You're not getting the rest of that story, David. And in 2013, we worked on the exterior site with landscaping projects, and we've got pictures. The Grop guys don't know that I took pictures and all of the lights on the west end parking lot are now completed, and that finished the site work, which got us a lovely certificate of occupancy, which is very exciting. So now we're very official in our first ground floor occupancy of the 1912 Center. So that's pretty exciting. And Andrea, do you see you're in a picture up there digging in the dirt? Very exciting. That was a fun day. The 2013, we had a service day with the SYNC program, which was the University of Idaho first-year students. It's called Serving Your New Community. That service day planted all of our plants on the site, and we had Heart of the Arts board members and President, students, Bruce Pittman was there, and past Mayor Cheney was there, and it was quite a wonderful day, and really got these folks involved in our town right on their first days in town. So that was all completed in 2013. Programming this past year, we participated not only in Art Walk, but also hosted 4 art openings, 4 shows in the center ourselves for the season of Summer Plaza concerts out on the plaza 4 times during the summer. And we hosted our second free family prom in November, which was well attended, and members of Festival Dance were present to help bring the young people out with their families. Now in our 10th season of the Winter Market, and we have 6 markets. We did 2 markets in November and 2 in December this season to expand that. We have a market coming up this Saturday, February 8th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can do some shopping. You know you're missing all of that farmer's market feeling with everybody talking about farmer's market. That's kind of what we got going on. It'll be really cold, so you need to come out of your houses into my lovely 1912 Center facility that will keep you warm while you shop. And there will be vegetarian chili available for lunch, so that'll be fun. And this Friday, you should come see that lovely dog up there. Dana Aldis painted that dog. His name is Benny, and he is one of 25 dogs that she has featured in our Raining Cats and Dogs show. Today we received art for this show, so like I'm just at the beginning of understanding what kind of cool show I have this Friday, and there are over 57 pieces of art that I get to catalog and label and hang and all enjoy on Friday. So Friday from 5 to 8 is our art opening for Raining Cats and Dogs, the community art show. We will have the Gypsy Dogs playing music, and you can vote for Best of Show Cat and Best of Show Dog artwork, and the winners of those awards will get $50. The artists will be very excited about that because that buys art supplies. So, you know, good stuff, or dinner out, depending on where they go with it. And that'll be this Friday, and we're also serving hot dogs and cat wine. So, you know, there's wine in bottles that are shaped like cats that we're serving as our wine of the evening. Now, someone might say wine and a hot dog, but hey, you know, it's thematic. It goes with the theme. So there you go. So hopefully you can come on by. Spaces to rent, just to go through, we have 5 spaces that we actively rent in the building. And those are the Great Room and Plaza. The Plaza and Great Room go together, although you can have an event out on the plaza without using the Great Room, but you would be renting the Great The kitchen has been rented a number of times by itself as a commercial kitchen space, and it also gets rented along with the great room space. Amanda Hickston House, who was here, she actually was one of our early renters in the commercial kitchen space for Sticky Fingers Farms before they got a commercial kitchen on their property. So that a lot of that early delicious ice cream that came from them was cooked. Then we have the Fisk Community Room that is a 700 square foot room that rents for $15 an hour to the community. And the Arts Workshop space that serves it doubles as a dojo because a lot of the time we have dojo activities in there, martial arts. We have Aikido in there tonight, working hard with mats all over the floor. And then tomorrow is fencing in the Arts Workshop. So arts is a larger term. There are a lot of art forms, and so you get into all kinds of arts. So and karate sometimes is in the Arts Workshop as well. Friendship Hall can be rented in the evenings, so we do have book groups and meeting groups that use that room as well because it has a more casual feeling with couches and tables and chairs and things for gatherings and watching movies and things together for groups. So 2014 is upon us, so we're going to be doing some fun work at the building. We received a promise of an Idaho Heritage Trust grant for $4,500 to match to do work on the balustrade above the west entrance of the building, and so we'll be working on that in conjunction with doing the work on the exterior and the east end of the facility this year. So we're hopefully going to be able to get our plans together and go out to bid in May or June of this year, and then start the construction as soon as possible. This will replace 22 windows on the east end of the facility, and I don't think, does this have a little pointer thingy? A little... She found it for me, thank you. This is new to me. So this is the balustrade that I'm talking about, and we will be replacing this one, cleaning it, repairing it, replacing it, as well as the one on the west end of the facility that did not get done as a part of that project. So both of those will get done as a part of our work in 2014. And I'm really excited about this. Each one of the windows, they're huge, and they're more than $2,000 a piece, but you can sponsor a window for a mere $1,912 and have your name put on a plaque on the window, and I am happily, shamelessly promoting those windows because all 22 on this end of the building need to be adopted. So we're looking for adopters. Very exciting. And I thought I would finish with a lovely picture of my staff at present. We have... this is Madeline. She's working right now with the Boy Scouts up there in the great room having their blue and gold banquet. This is Max Hawley, and Max has been with us for 2 seasons, 2 years. He's coming up on his 2nd year. And this is Tessa Grundler, and she's worked with us for almost a year now. And they're fantastic employees and work really hard with your events and activities. They'll be happy to work with anybody at the building, as well as I am happy to work with anybody at the building. And so I open it up to questions from this esteemed group of people.
Jenny, you're just a few months shy of having 7 years.
Yeah, in May.
May 1st, so here we are. It's just a few months away, and I got to tell you, one of the things I always enjoyed was your enthusiasm. Your enthusiasm has not diminished 1 inch in these 7 years, and in fact, it keeps growing. So I get excited every time I get a chance to hear a report from you. Back 7 years ago, folks, you'd drive by here, and once in a blue moon, we'd have an event there because there wasn't much going on in those days. And then that started creeping in a few more and a few more, and now it's a weekly event. There's multiple things going on all the time. And the more we have this building, the more of a wonderful resource it is for our community. And I just appreciate the job that you and your team has done, Jenny, in promoting it and keeping it going. And the 1912 adopted window, as a terrific idea. And
Some beauties to be adopted. You can have your name on them on a plaque for a long, 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 long time. Long time.
terrific.
It'll outlast all of us, so that's pretty exciting.
Dan?
So I have a daughter that's a sophomore, and she's complaining about having to walk across the street now, like in the olden days when, so tell me about what kind of cooperation you guys are doing with the school district now for classroom use, because both, they had the recent flood there, and also, I guess, you're going to be doing some during the renovations that the high school is going to start in March.
Yep. So we just had a conversation with the high school and the 1912 Center about what we could make available during the school day for them to have a consistent classroom space across the street after spring break. The construction is slated to start the week of spring break, and we've arranged that the arts workshop space will be a classroom for them from 8 in the morning until 3:30 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. Beginning that, like I said, the last week of March is when we will start with them, all the way through the end of the school year. And we've agreed to turn them into a tenant so that rental will be a monthly rental that they pay to the facility. And then in turn, my staff will set up to have that room ready after Aikido and fencing and other activities in the evenings in that space, so that it will be available to them to be able to get a jump on those projects. It looked like without having these alternative spaces that the timetable would be dramatically affected for construction, and it made it unfeasible for them to get the job done before the school year begins next fall, to get these classrooms updated with the bond measure that they had in place. So I'm real excited that we're able to work with them and make that possible. And it's really neat for us because on Tuesdays and Thursdays, the Friendly Neighbors have the meal in the great room. And so having that that participation of our entire generations coming together in the same spaces is pretty wonderful. Plus, they could go downstairs and have lunch with the seniors if they wanted to.
John?
I'd make a motion that we accept the report.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion by John and a second by Tom. Did anybody else have anything they wanted to ask Jenny before we vote?
Jenny, you mentioned the east end and 22 windows.
Mm-hmm. Want to see 'em?
Bidding in May, you thought. Two questions regarding that. Is 22 the sum total of the east end windows? Or
Yeah,
is that-
so if you look, each of these banks is 5 windows,
Okay.
and so there's 10 on each of these plus this one, and then there's one right above the door frame here. So that
Okay.
puts us at 22 on that end. There were other windows that have already been completed and replaced earlier. This is the senior center right here, and this space right here is Friendship Hall. And those have already had their 5 windows each replaced on that level.
And do you have funding for these 22 windows in hand at this time?
Not quite, but we're very close.
How many more windows do you need to
Well,
sell?
we would love to adopt all 22 of these windows, but in the event we don't, we still will begin construction in June of this year with the fundraising that we're working on.
Okay.
They'll still
Okay.
be available to be adopted even after the fact. So until they've been adopted. In my office, I have a plan of the entire facility, and yellow windows are the ones that are in progress, and so they get colored yellow when someone's chosen the window that they're adopting over time and they're making payments on their adoption of a window. And then it becomes green when it's fully adopted and they get their plaque engraved at that time. So I've got plaques in my office for all the windows that have been colored green. So you can come see where all your friends have put their windows, and you can choose yours accordingly.
Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah, sure.
I think we've got a motion by John and a second by Tom, and I think we're ready for a vote. I'll start with Art. Aye.
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 That's unanimous that we accept your report.
Thank
Jenny,
you.
thank you very much for the wonderful job you guys do there.